It sells. What can we say? Let's go to an article, shall we? Shall we? Let's go to the article. This is out of Dazed, not to be confused with Dazed and Confused, but this says how e-girl influencers are trying to get Gen Z into the military. Cosplay commandos are posting nationalist thirst traps to mobilize the simps. But why? I'm not the American dream. I'm more like an American nightmare. Beams the influencer known as Halusian in a video to her 363,000 TikTok followers. With full face e-girl makeup, dawn on freckles, and a rosy nose, the 20-year-old is the face of an unsettling new breed of e-girl garnering millions of views online. She posts thirst traps inside choppers and pouty selfies with assault rifles with hashtags like pew pew and military curves. She shares cutesy unboxing compilations and makeup tutorials. Get me ready with the meme videos and lip syncs. She jokes about war bunkers and plays with remote control tanks, which she overlays with sparkly filters and heart emojis. Known in some esoteric meme circles as the psy-op girl, Halusian, also simply known as Lujan, is a self-described psychological operations specialist for the U.S. Army, whose online presence has led to countless memes speculating that she is a post-ironic psyop meant to recruit people into U.S. Army. Lewan, who is actually employed by the U.S. Army PsyOps division, posts countless TikToks and memes that play into this. Her official website is called psy-ops. My own taxes used to psy-op me, says one commenter. Definitely a Fed. I'm signed up for the Army now, writes another commenter. But Haluyan isn't the only e-girl using scenario sex appeal to lure in the internet simps into the armed forces. There's Bailey Crespo and Kayla Salinas, not to mention countless Miltalk gun influencers cropping up online. While she didn't document her military career, influencer Bella Porch also served in the U.S. Navy for 4 years before going viral on TikTok in 2020, and is arguably the blueprint for this kind of kawaii commodified fetishism in the military. An adjacent figure, Natalia Fediv, also known as Gun Waifu, is an Israeli influencer and IDF soldier who uses waifu aesthetics and cat girl cosplay to peddle pro-Israel propaganda to her 756,000 followers. She poses to camera, Ahagio style, with freshly manicured nails wrapped neatly around a Glock, the uwu infinication of military functioning as a cutesy distraction from the shadowy colonial context. When they try to destroy your nation, she writes in one caption, we've entered an era of military-funded e-girl warfare. And what would have felt unimaginable only a few years back, influencers are now the hottest new weapon in the government's arsenal. Here, cosplay commandos post nationalist thirst traps to mobilize the simps, attracting the sort of impressionable reply guys and 4chan's lost boys who message, oh my God, DM me, fire, on every post, sanitizing the harsh realities of U.S. imperialism with cute e-girlisms. It promotes the sort of hypersexualized militarism that reframes violence as something cute, goofy, and unthreatening. A subversion to the beefy special forces stereotypes in the mainstream. Arguably far more unsettling than 20th century CIA covert ops. There is no hush hush to this operation. Rather, it hides in plain sight. capitalizing on online irony to lull you into a false sense of security with relatable content and the sort of tapped-in memory that can only come from years of being terminally online. She's just like me, for real. Don't go to college, become a farmer or a soldier instead, Luan urges her audience in recent TikTok before going into anti-liberal rant about the metaverse and impossible burgers. Realistically, it's not the US Army that actively funneling the trade ideology via 20-year-old influencer posting hot girl content as a soldier online benefits Luan's personal brand too. But when you consider how estimate rates among Gen Z have plummeted, unofficial pro-military content like Luan's undeniably plays into U.S. Army's motives. See, when the Army spends $100 million on advertisement each year just to get ratioed by a 21-year-old girl on TikTok. So they're literally let me show you. All right, so wait. Oh, let me hold on. Sorry. Okay. Let me show you guys the actual video. Because this is what we're talking about.
I have some Army Girl hacks for semi-permanent makeup, or at least makeup that lasts a few days. Very helpful for when you're in the field, or if you're just at home and don't feel like doing it every day. I don't know. Semi-permanent brow ink by Revlon in the shade Warm Brown. Shake that shit up, shake it up, shake it up. Here's the before, just looking, average Joe. But then I take it onto my lips and start doing lip liner and just smudge it out. I do this around the whole perimeter of my lips, but then I shade in kind of the edges a little bit more to give that dimension, you know what I mean? That dimension, that little... But I also use this on my brows. I use it as eyeliner sometimes, add more freckles sometimes, and it lasts 3 days even if you use a makeup wipe. So very helpful, especially because I don't like to reapply makeup in front of the male soldiers, feel like they won't take you seriously. But with that being said, to any of my military girls out there, don't let them turn you into a robot. You can be a soldier while being whoever it is that you were before. So get creative in finding convenient ways to express yourself. Help this out.
What did she say? Oh, if men can find out we can rearrange the bones of our face, they're going to tell the church. Yeah, Mark. What the actual? Oh, there's more. There's more, bro. There's more. This is what they're doing. It's crazy, but this is what they're doing. All right. Let me share. Desperate. Oh, this is desperate. Okay. All right. Thirsty Miller, baby. So this is from Zay Squirrel. Great account. I recommend you guys follow. Since the U.S. military is struggling with a shortage of new recruits and is using sexualized social media propaganda to lure young men into signing away their lives. Oh gosh. Let's watch. It's so stupid.
Hey, don't fall for the psy-op, brothers. If it was the best blowjob you've ever had in your life.
What you're seeing is advanced warfare.
The U.S. government is engaged in a large number of secret medical experiments, developing techniques for mind control to create a so-called Manchurian state. What is the extent of these brainwashing experiments? How did the CIA become involved in such far-reaching and disturbing research?
The bone, long hair star, thick and hips.
Propaganda. Wake the fuck up.
Wake the fuck up.
Propaganda. We go, Jim. Nope, not your war, not your monkeys, not your circus.
Hey, don't fall.
Like he said, not your war, not your monkeys, not your circus. Those of you who love cis women in the female form, y'all need to wake up, because guess what? They're luring you to death. There are plenty of, look, I'm going to tell you right now, there are plenty of hot girls on the left who are anti-war. You don't need to go that point, the path of death. Trust and believe, all right? We're going to the path of life, not to the path of death. Guys, think with your head and not with your head. Yes, from clickbait to deathbait. Yes. Leading the bulls to the slaughter. Zay Squirrel continues, says, for those unfamiliar with the term barracks bunny, it refers to women in an army barracks who sleep with the men. The U.S. Army is using fake sexual fantasy as part of its recruitment propaganda to get young men to destroy their lives for them. And remind you that this headline says the U.S. Army is struggling to find the recruits it needs to win the fight over the future. Key points. The U.S. Army fell short of its 2022 recruitment goal by 25% and recently cut its projection for its total force this year by 10,000. That's 10,000 lives that will not be wasted on these for-profit wars. Thank God. U.S. Secretary of the Army Christine Wormuth said at the CNBC's Work Summit on Wednesday that it become harder for the military to compete for recruits. Sergeant Stripe says social media and influencers key to military recruitment of young people, defense officials say. The Israeli apartheid regime also uses sexualized propaganda to whitewash its fascist genocidal military. This is what Israelis are subject to. So that's basically what they're subject to. So they're like, hey, look, don't think with your head, think with your head. And come on over and risk your life for the military-industrial complex. Let's do that. Huh? Yo, especially to my young straight and bisexual men. Listen, come to the camera. Young men, especially you young cis men, come to the camera. Hold up. Actually, no, fuck it. Light. We need light. We need light in here. Y'all need to open your eyes and stop looking at them. Because guess what? They're going to get your ass killed. They're going to get you killed. They're going to get you killed. They're literally trying to lure you in so that you fight the wars for the military-industrial complex so that they get more money. And then what do you gain? You gain PTSD. You gain maybe lost limbs. You gain lost brothers or family members in the military. You may also gain homelessness. You may also gain strained relationships with your families. They're not worth it. Do not fall for them. I know they're pretty. They're very pretty. But guess what? All things that glitter ain't gold, baby. Don't do it. Don't. Young man, y'all can't. Y'all can't. Mm-mm. Hold on. Yeah. Roger says, sounds like its military is the first for one thirsty for recruits. Mm-hmm. Yep. Reality Revolution says, hey, can't stay, but make sure to virtual signal with a like and share. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Reality. Good to see you. Yeah. Let me enlarge. Let's go back. Look, just because I'm gay don't mean I ain't got eyes. I got eyes, right? But guess what? Not dying from war is a lot more attractive. Trust me. Says, what makes this even more grotesque is that there are systemic rape cases and the U.S. military, which is covered up. And they are actively making propaganda that encourages and further normalizes sexual assault and mass rape. This is one of the major points. Sexual assault is a major issue in the military. And particularly a lot of women, some men, but a lot of women can tell you that this is a problem. And so luring young men in this way also exacerbates the problem. Mind you, that the sexual assault issue in the U.S. military is quite indicative of the U.S. foreign policy in other nations. Because when other nations say no, the United States doesn't know what no means. They'll go into other countries and then they will pillage them for their resources and extract their resources out from them, even though the citizens of that country say no. So even the United States, by their foreign policy, they don't know what no means. No means no, but the United States, when it comes to their foreign policy, doesn't know what no means. So guess what? They do the same thing. So guess what? They really don't give a shit whether it happens in their military that much. So I say this to everybody. Stay out. Not your war, not your monkey, not your circus. Stay out. In fact, if you're going to do something for your country, was it February 19th? I think it is. There's a rally, there's an anti-war rally going on in Washington, D.C. Instead of going to these people, go to the anti-war rallies. Go to the anti-war rallies. What is it? Rage Against the War Machine rally. Go to that. Go to the Assange rallies. Go to the Healthcare for All rallies. Join the organizations that are anti-war. Join organizations that are, like, for instance, the PSL, Socialist Alternative, ones like that. Sama Sawant is starting a new organization. Go to that. But do not join these ones. You're in for a lot of heartache, no matter your gender. I'm telling you. The screenshot says a poison in the system, the epidemic of military sexual assault. This is real stuff, people. Sexual assaults on female troops reach highest level in more than a decade. Do you really think the U.S. military gives a shit about women? Because while Zay Squirrel continues, while Israel uses women to whitewash their genocidal apartheid regime, it actively engages in and covers up the mass rape and sexual assault of Palestinian and Ukrainian girls and women, as detailed in this thread. The reality of religion. These are the young men you guys need to listen to. And I've seen this before, and let's go again. These are the young men y'all need to listen to.
Hey, Omar, if you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Fuck you.
Hey, word. Word.
Yeah.
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
That was fucking bullshit.
Hey. If you could tell one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Fuck you.
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Hope he dies.
Hey, if you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Why the fuck did you lie to me?
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Thank you very much for the job opportunity.
Hey, Frost, if you could
What's
say
up?
one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Why didn't you tell me about Airborne?
Pennington, if you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be? Good. Hey, if you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Thanks.
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Fuck you.
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
You're welcome for my service.
Yeah. Why would they be saying that? Because they were lied to. And yeah, the first person was an Army psy-op unit. And once again, to the young men, wake up.
How about a motherfucking mukbang? We got a beef taco. Santa Fe, right?
Wake up. Wake up. It's propaganda. It's propaganda. It's an e-girl in military uniform. It's propaganda. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
How about a motherfucking...
See, the guy's saying it's propaganda. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Good job. Good job. Because number one, we gotta protect our kids. By our kids, I mean of all genders. I'm talking about our men, women, everybody in between. We gotta protect them. We gotta protect them from the military industrial complex. And that's what we have to do. Because if we don't, guess what? They're going to die, whether physically or mentally and emotionally. We don't want any damage to come to them.